Well, this Sunday, Jackie and Stephana Bledsoe will be celebrating their 14th Valentine's as husband and wife. For many years, their marriage was anything but a bed of roses. Take a look.
This is author, speaker, and blogger Jackie Bledsoe. And this is Stephana, his wife of 14 years. They have faced serious challenges during their relationship, like premarital parenthood and even homelessness. But they say through it all, they've learned lessons that have gotten them through tough times. In Jackie's new book, The 7 Rings of Marriage, he shares keys to a long-lasting and prosperous relationship.
And please welcome to the 700 Club, Jackie and Stephana Bledsoe. Nice to meet you guys.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Wendy.
Well, today you guys have a loving relationship, which I can see just from your beautiful smiles. But it's been hard won. Tell us a little bit about your story, Jackie.
Yeah, it's been very challenging. We've been married almost 15 years. It'll be this summer. And through it all, we've experienced all the ups and downs, even to the point of being homeless as a family. We've experienced financial challenges. We've experienced intimacy challenges, in-law challenges, you name it, and we've probably gone through it.
Well, Jackie, you admit that you messed up. You were unfaithful in the marriage. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and it was actually prior to us being married. So we did things the wrong way. We went about it the wrong way. We were dating and actually became intimate before we were married, and we had our first child. And during that time period, I was unfaithful. So it was just one thing on top of the next, and it led to where we are with some challenges that we experienced the first few years in our marriage.
Well, Stephana, how were you able to forgive Jackie?
It took a lot. There were a lot of arguments and just questions, insecurities about whether or not it was genuine what we had. But I think it was through prayer and our relationship with small groups and just guidance from older, wiser couples that helped us through it.
Of course, like you said, this happened before you got married. So did the fact that you did walk down the aisle and now you had a wedding ring and all that, did that help you to trust him more, or was that still something you had to work on? It
was still something we had to work on. I think that we got married and that was sort of a, this is what I want, but I still kind of questioned it. So,
Jackie, how did you prove, or how did you earn your trust again with her?
Yeah, I just had to continue to be faithful. And to be honest, when I asked her to marry me, I wasn't sure she would say yes. So that was the first step. And then I just continued. We met with the pastor and his wife, and he helped both of us through it. But I just had to continue to trust God and just show faithfulness to him and to her and pray that that would win her over.
Yeah. Stephana, what was the lowest point in your relationship, and how did you get through it?
I think the lowest point was probably when we were homeless as a family. My husband lost a job, and one thing after another was a spiral effect, and we were without a home with our then daughter. Yep. So it was 3 of us.
3 of you. So, I mean, literally on the streets, or did you have someplace to stay?
No, just not a home of our own. Right. So we were staying with friends, and then we would relocate to a family members, and it was just kind of a from pillar to post is what it felt like.
How did you guys get through that?
Yeah, it was just trusting him and coming together. One thing that we think back on it, and we came together versus going against each other. She could have easily pointed the finger at me because I didn't do the things that I promised I would do for her as the husband and as the father of our child. But she didn't. She came closer to me. We both came closer to God, and we just had to rely on him. He never left us during that time period, and that kind of set that foundation of our relationship and our trust in him through all circumstances.
And then how long did it take to get another job and to get back on your feet?
It took a while to get, I don't remember, I think we started a business next, and it took a while for us to get the income flowing in there. But we went from place to place, but God showed faithful in that people opened up their doors to us, people blessed us, and he never let us go without, even though we were in that situation.
Yeah, well, you guys have written a terrific book called The 7 Rings of Marriage, great title. Jackie, what are the 7 Rings of Marriage, and how did you come up with that concept?
Yeah, the 7 Rings of Marriage is basically, it's a model. It is what successful, lasting, and fulfilling marriages go through. So we looked at it and we put together our marriage story, and then we shared it, and we found out other people could relate. And we've interviewed couples ourselves, and they can relate as well. And they've gone through each of those 7 rings to get to the point where their marriage is successful, it's lasting, and it's fulfilling.
So what you're saying is, like, just having a big rock, that ring doesn't really count as far as having a successful marriage.
That's probably the least important ring out of all of them.
Well, you gotta give us a couple of these rings. I know you want people to get the book, but give us a couple.
Yeah, I'll give you the first 3. The first 2 are obvious. It's the engagement ring. And at that point, you know, it's kind of like you're just happy, you're in love, and all these exciting things are coming, but it's really an important time to build a foundation. And that foundation is on a relationship with Jesus Christ, both your wife or both your husband and yourself. Next is the wedding ring, and that's where you make that commitment. And it's just not a commitment where I agree to do this, you agree to do that. It's a covenant relationship with Christ as well. And then last or third is the discovering. And that is the challenging point where you start to learn new stuff. You're living with this person, and you're like, wow, I did not know that. And you learn stuff about yourself as well. So for me, I learned I was a little bit selfish, probably a lot of bit selfish.
Just a little.
Just
a little. Well, that's exciting. Well, how important is it for couples to remain sexually pure before marriage? I know you guys didn't walk down that road, but God has redeemed it, and you've learned from your mistakes, and God forgives. But how important is that for maybe somebody who's watching right now, and they're tempted to go down that road before it's time?
Yeah, I would say there's some practical things that you can look at. First, you risk of having a child before you're married and you not getting married.
Right.
So that was something that we risked as well. But you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, we looked at it, and by us becoming intimate before then, we didn't get a chance to really know each other and become friends, and really just allow God to work in that relationship and the things that we were challenged with as a single. And then we brought this mess together before allowing Him to work through it. Those are some things that I look at, but you know, you have to really just line it up. And we've experienced doubt because of what we did before marriage.
Well, Stephana, you now have a loving family of 5, and what are some of your most important traditions that you guys enjoy now?
As a family, I think probably the most important thing to us is prayer and dinner together. They sound really simple, but they have been really, really special. We love to have dinner at least once, or have a meal at least once a day together at the table, and it's typically dinner. And then we have a prayer jar on our table that has popsicle sticks in it, and we write prayers on the popsicle sticks, and so everybody gets to pull a stick and pray over something that is important.
How old are the children?
15, 10, and 6.
Okay, do you allow cell phones at the table?
No.
No, but it's a fight, it's a battle.
Because that kind of defeats the purpose of having that family time, right?
Yeah.
So, is she a good cook?
She's a wonderful cook.
I mean, hey, you guys brought up dinner. So I'm hungry. I'm thinking about food right now.
She has spoiled all of us from eating anyone else's food. Our kids go and they look at her like, I don't know, that's not Mama's kitchen.
Well, you guys, Valentine's Day is, of course, Sunday. And I'm sorry. What are some things that you guys are planning to do, and some things that other couples should maybe try to kind of get the spark back?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is just spend some time together alone. Spend some time with your spouse, and that's what we hope to do. It's going to be challenging as we'll be gone for a few days and we'll get back, but really focus on the relationship and just have conversation. We were told by one of our marriage mentors to have more dates that don't involve stuff, but dates that you're not doing much so you can just talk. A lot of times we do dates and we distract ourselves with all the other things, phones and everything else, but really focus on that time of just having one-on-one time and communication.
Romantic dinner, there you go.
There it is.
Valentine's Day. Well, happy Valentine's Day, and thanks so much for sharing your book with us, The 7 Rings. Jackie's book is, again, called The 7 Rings of Marriage, your model for a lasting, fulfilling marriage, and it's available wherever books are sold. So be sure to pick one up for your Valentine, and be sure to spend time reading it together, right? That's a good idea.
Yes.
All right, thanks so much, guys. God bless you.
Thank you.